have the same interest as myself, and I just wish I had a little bit more of the abilities, but maybe, who knows, maybe in time that'll come. But right now my thing is the technical gadgets and gizmos and cameras and recorders and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I focus on that stuff, mainly camera and camera work.
Well, what I want to say is I was so impressed with you, Joe, because we've done so many investigations, and I've had other cameramen come and videotape and whatever, but you were so good. And what I loved about you is after we did each little thing that we were doing, whether it would be a seance or whatever we were doing, you sat us down and you interviewed us. And there were times when you were interviewing us as we were going, which, you know what? I love that. That was fantastic, and I thought it just brought a whole nother level to the investigation. I thought it was awesome.
Joe's the best.
I think so, and Tom, I think Tom could also talk on that a little bit because he interviewed Tom quite a bit that night.
But before Tom answers that, I just want to say you're listening to Second Sight Radio on the D.T.M. Wicked Radio Network. Tom, go ahead.
No, I mean, I have to agree. I mean, you made it really comfortable just to even have a conversation about it. It wasn't even felt like an interview to me. It's just like you and I were just talking. And everything just came out naturally. It was a good flow. I mean, when you saw the opportunity to, like, just grab at it and say, hey, tell me about what just happened, I mean, you were there, man. I mean, definitely. I mean, kudos to you. Fantastic job.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, Joe. So in any event, we have the cast of characters minus Paul. And the first thing that we did when we all arrived there was we took part in lighting a beautiful sacred fire. Jeff had prepared a fire. What do you call that when you have the stones for the fire? What is that called, Jeff?
Fire pit?
I just made a fire pit.
Fire pit. And then we started adding wood to it, and this roaring fire started blazing. And at that point, we sat in a circle, and this is the first audio recording we're going to play tonight of what happened in that circle. So everybody listen to this.
And then I felt myself just feeling like spirit from everywhere coming like around us, and I felt really happy. And then it was just like I felt like gratitude. I really feel like I was feeling the gratitude spirit was feeling while whatever was going on was going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was actually feeling that gratitude towards being recognized, which I think is really, really cool. And then I came out and I felt like I had to get sick.
That's funny because I feel that feeling here too. I feel like I'm recognized, and they show me. I
feel like they have so much respect for you.
Yeah, I know. I feel it too.
I feel like you were given a healing here tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I channel, a lot of times I'm not present in what's going on, but anybody who knows me knows that I could either be very present or I could be completely out of whatever's happening. I felt like I wanted to be present, and I feel like I was holding your heart, and there was earth energy coming through me that was, I don't know how it felt to you, but it felt like when it was coming through me, it was like, it was so overpowering, and I feel that wasn't for me, that was for you. That was like a healing to bring to you. A gift. It was absolutely a gift, and it was like them saying to you, thank you for acknowledging us, thank you for being so in tune with who we are and and what we're about. There's so much gratitude for you, Jeff, that it blows me away.
And it was also the initiation of you as the sacred keeper of this land.
Absolutely.
I knew that role when I moved in.
Let me ask you guys something. Was that as powerful for you guys as it was for me? I mean, somebody...
For me it was.
I mean, for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you... how about you? Did you feel like... Because I know you're not so in tune with...
Right. I was more just... Honestly, I was more focused on listening to what you were saying and just protecting you in case... Because you did start swaying a little bit. I was just more focused on just protecting you from... God, going down a hill or something like that. Right. So I was more focused on that. But I mean, when you were looking around, there's one point where you were looking around, and I was trying to figure out whether you were looking around to see, because you started tearing up also. I wasn't sure if you were tearing up because of what has become,
Or maybe because then you started saying about then you said about there were spirits coming from everywhere, and maybe that's what you were looking around and you were crying, like you could see what was going around. They were coming here to.
I used to think that they were upset. But you know what it is? Now, I mean, after we just did that, the message I just got was they know change happens, and they're accepting the change that's happening.
I agree with you, Jeff, man.
And they were just asking for acknowledgement.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because they were accepting the change that's happening, and they know that change happens, and they know it's not going to affect them, who they are.
It must have been
because I've always thought the same thing you were just saying, is that they hate what's going on here.
Right.
But
I don't think that's what it is.
I
agree with you.
Now that we just did that, that's the message I got.
I'm always interested in what other people get from something like that. So if you guys don't mind, I'd like to ask you, what did you get from that?
I'm still in tears from it. It was just so much love. That's what got me.
Yeah.
It was really.
You know what it was?
Really
it was
powerful.
The energy that we were feeling earlier. It was intensified about 20 times. That's what I was feeling.
And you, Joni?
I think the circle of our energy also helped enhance it.
Absolutely.
We were all chosen. I really feel that there was no coincidence that all of us ended up here.
Well put.
And you think about it, this goes back years.
Yeah.
Like when we first met.
Yeah.
And then when we all met.
Yeah. Like everything led up to this point in time that we were meant to be here to do what we did.
I agree.
And I think they've been waiting an eternity.
We needed to do this tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Victor always talks about synchronicity and people coming together, and I think that's. I agree with you guys. I think we all came together. People who from different walks of life who didn't know each other a few years ago, and one by one we meet each other, and then we introduce to other people in this group, and we came here tonight and. Again, look, I don't know what it was like for you guys are telling me what it was like, but I was so focused on what was going on with me because I wanted to keep myself grounded and very much in the moment that I wasn't focusing so much on what was going on with you. So from my perspective, I just felt so in tune with the earth, and I felt love all around me. I felt gratitude, and I got the sense that the word that kept coming to me is finally. Okay? I don't know if that resonates with you guys, but for me, that's when as soon as I came out and I went over there and I almost got sick, I kept hearing in my head, finally. And that made me feel really good. Vic, I'm really, I would love to know your take on this.
After I did the chant, I was called to interpret for you the message that was coming through. And it's what I felt that first day we were here with Jeff, a month or so ago, that this was a great and sacred and holy place, and it needed to be acknowledged as a great and sacred and holy place. And our coming together tonight acknowledges the specialness of this land and the specialness of the forebears, the people who came before, and their gratitude and love for the fact that we've acknowledged them tonight. And that's what it's about. It's all about love and acknowledgement.
And I feel like I need to acknowledge you, man. Thank you for allowing us to come here. I'm grateful.
No problem, man.
Thank you.
It's like
I love that you asked me to come here.
When I met you guys, even like on your radio show, remember when I first texted you?
Yeah.
And it's like right away, I'm like, all right, I'll be on that show, no problem. And then when I met you guys in Salem, it was an instant bond.
It was.
It was the same thing with me and Joni and Sandy. It was an instant bond when we met.
I think this is the time that spirit family is coming back together, and I think we're all called together because there's great work to be done in this world.
Yep.
God knows there's so much
pain
and suffering.
We just moved here from New York. I knew you. Now I know you.
Yeah.
And it's funny. You're just saying that now. In my head, it's like
we'll be
the pieces are like I know. There you go. The pieces just seem like to be going together.
Yeah. It's like even like when I was talking to you, it was an instant.
Oh yeah.
You put something stupid on a message for me, and I'm like,
that's all the
funny.
time.
No, but it's like right away. It's like I like that.
Cool.
Well, I think I acknowledge you. I think I need to acknowledge everyone here. Victor, absolutely amazing, and that the chant and everything, it touched me. And everyone being here today, just thank you for being part of this little ceremony that we did and this mini seance. I know it was only one spirit that came through, but I feel like it was the spirit that needed to come through.
The representative spirit of all.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. It was the representative spirit.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel blessed that I was able to bring that spirit through for everybody, and not just for the people here, but for the spirits that are connected with this land, because again, the word coming through is finally. It's like finally we got some acknowledgement. Finally, somebody knows, what we want to say, and you guys are acknowledging us, and that means a lot to spirit. Okay, and I think I want to say a collective thank you to all of you guys for being part of this tonight, and I know that once we start this investigation, it's going to be awesome.
The lesson that this world needs right now is the lesson of gratitude, because we take so many things for granted, and we don't acknowledge the gifts that are given to us on a daily basis. And these ancients acknowledge that. They know that they were given the gifts of life and the food that came to them, and everything that was around them. And we don't acknowledge that. We take everything for granted. It cheapens the spiritual nature of the world, and that's what this is about.
But I think there's more of us now that
Yes.
that have gratitude, that
Slowly
are
but
awakened.
surely.
Well, you look at
Yeah.
the way things happen. I mean, we had that big crash in economy and everything. That's when people started to look at themselves and say, everything I have really isn't worth
Much
much.
right now. And I mean, for me, that was my big change. And then from there, it's,
Of course,
my
there's the
spirituality shot off. I mean, what looks like the worst times, they're actually the best sometimes.
Well, sometimes you have to let go of things in order to really find what's really true in life.
Yeah.
As the oldest person here, my generation was the generation that gave birth to the hope, peace, and love. And that lesson and the lessons learned and the hope and that promise seems to have disappeared over the last 10 or 12 or 15 years. And it's time to bring it back. It's time for us to start loving each other as brother and sister, and recognizing that we're all part of this one family, this one universal energy, and that no matter what God we worship or not worship, that we're all part and parcel of the same thing.
Vic, I think you need to do a little something to close this circle, and to thank. And then we could go on with our investigation if you...
With open hearts, with tears of thankfulness and joy in our eyes, we express gratitude for the lessons and the messages that were delivered here tonight. Recognizing that on our shoulders rests the duty, the responsibility, and the ownership of healing this world, of showing face to face that we are all one family, brother and sister. And no matter where we are, what our culture is, what our race is, how we were brought up or taught, that together we own this world. And if we don't recognize that, together we're going to lose this world. So let this be the start of something beautiful and something new. A renewal of spirit, a renewal of heart, renewal of life.
And a renewal of the land.
And a renewal of the land, which is heart, spirit, and life. So mote it be. So may it be. So it is. And thank you.
That was awesome. Listening to that, I mean, it brings me right back to that moment. You forget it, and not that you forget it, but you forget things that were said. And to sit back here and actually listen to what happened that night, that's some awesome stuff. And all of us coming together and making that an amazing event, it just blows me away.
And don't forget, that was like right after you channeled.
Right, and that's what I wanted to let people know. Everything you heard happened after I had channeled, so for me it was amazing because I got to hear what happened afterwards. I mean, I was present, but to hear the little things that happen that I don't pick up on, it blows me away. And I'm happy to be part of that with all of you guys.
And we had also inaugurated that whole circle with me repeating the chant that I had channeled the first time we visited Jeff's house. And I'm going to play that chant as we close the hour in about 15 minutes. I'm going to play that chant as we go out.
I just want to say, Vic, that was my favorite part of everything we did. Not my channeling the 2 times, not the investigating, none of it. My favorite part was when you were doing what you did. That blew me away. I felt so connected to what you were doing, and I know everybody there did. It was just amazing, and I can't wait for everyone to hear it.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Just reaction, round-robin reaction from everyone as to that experience. Why don't we start with Tom? Tom, what was your takeaway?